Hello guys, it's me again, and this my Java focus for beginners 2026, and we are in our course 9. In our course 8 we did more on just OOP basics, normal sets and stuff like that, but in this our course 9 I'm going to be focusing on three important topics you need to know: constructors, this keyword, and encapsulation as well. Okay, let's get started. And I'll just open my IntelliJ window and I'll close this. I think this from our course 8 or something. So I'll just close this quickly and I'll create a new package and I'll just name, so my hierarchy would be good. I'll just name this package, just name it course 9. Cool. We are making progress, right? And then new Java class, and I'll just name the class main. This for just our running our main program. Okay, so let me just, before we start, I'll give you guys my own understanding of constructors. Okay, if they ask you what is a constructor is a special method that runs automatically when you create a new object. It sets up or constructs the object by giving it initial values. Okay, so I'll show you guys how a program work without constructor. So I'll just create a simple program, a normal class, and I'll just name the class person or something. No, person. So I'll name the class person. So now let me show you how a constructor work. And then normally you can do something like this. What does a person have? Let me just give you a basic thing that everyone knows. A person has a name, then a person have an int age. Okay, so we are not declaring anything, but we're just assigning it. Okay, so we see a person have a name and a person has an age. So if you want to access this, we have to do something like this. Okay, I'll just zoom this a little bit inside. I think 20 is cool. Okay, yeah. So and then we'll just do PSVM so we can be able to read the console or something. Then we'll do person. We'll just call it P or something. P equals new person and tab and this. Okay, so person, data type, variable, then the value. So p, so we'll just access the name. P dot name is equals, let us call it Charles, and then p dot age is equals, let us call it 20. And you see, it's a very long and very stressful way to do something. Okay, it's very long. Okay, so this is how we call something without a constructor. So if you want to create another person, maybe you can say p1, you can do p1 or something like that. Person 1, you can do person 2, person 3, then the same process like this without a constructor. But a constructor made the thing more easy. Okay, so now let me show you how it makes it more easy. So you can see p1 and this. So let me just go back to my person class. So we have a string name and string int age. So to access a constructor, all you need to do is just say the call public, then what, no need for void, static, or anything. So you just say person. So public person would be, then what will be the parameter? So we need a parameter so we can pass sets inside. So say string, let us call it n. You see where I'm going to. String n and int a for age. Okay, so string n and int a for age. So we can now say name is, this name is equals n. Okay, and then this age is equals a. Okay, so this is a constructor, like a normal constructor without any tweaking and stuff like that. But you can see it's not that understandable, but I just want to show you guys that you can access something like this. And then if you go back to your main Java, you're getting an error because you need a matching set of arguments right here. So what I will do is just copy this. I'll copy this string name and paste it right here, then comma, then copy my second set of this and paste it right here, then delete this away. So you see our errors is gone, our warnings are gone, and many other things. Then you see person P1, so it's very short. It's a very short step you can use. So now you can access the name and the age, and it's still the same way of accessing it. If I just send inside the P1 dot name, let's print the name out first. Then I can just say SOUT tab. Then I can say P1 dot name or something. Then if I press Shift F10 and hold on, so you can see it prints out the name there, Charles. You see it. Okay, so and the other problem is that, okay, watch. Yeah, before we go, I show you guys the problem. I'll tell you the rules of constructor. So the rules of constructor is must have the same name as the class. So if you're creating a constructor, it must have the same name as the class. Like see person, you cannot come and see animal or something, or teacher or student or car or something in a person class. So if you're creating a constructor, it must have the same name as the class. Then it will not have any return type, no return type, and it can be overloaded more than one constructor with different parameters as well. I'll show you guys. So since I'm going to be saying many things in this video, I think it will take a very long time to the video will take long, but I just hope I make it brief a little bit. Then okay, let's say, let me show you guys the importance of this keyword. Okay, if you see something like this, let's say we name the variable name and we name this one age name, and this one age. It still works, but it's giving us a warning. But if I run the program here, it still works the same way. Hold on. Null. You see, oh, it doesn't work the same way actually. It's giving us null. And why is that? You see, since the variable names are the same, it's quite confusing. Something went wrong because you're saying, what's this? Something is wrong, or but that is where the this keyword comes in. So that so if you're asking what's wrong, why is it giving this? So Java can't tell which name is which, the parameter or the property. So we use like this to make it like more clear. So if I go to the name like this, what you just have to do to make it different, to differentiate it, is this dot name, and then here we'll just do this dot age. Okay, so you take this as this, like this means like this p1 you created, on this p1 you created, like p1. So you just like still accessing this p1, you just replace this with this p1, like something like that. So the name is equals to the name that you gave to this parameter, the name that you gave to this parameter, like this one, and that is it. And you can also replace this with p1, like it's just take it like that. You understand? So it's just apparently what this keyword is for. It takes this value and add it with the thing you give to the parameters, the argument you pass to the parameters. So that is a very good importance of this keyword. In case you don't want to name, you want your variables to be very more understandable, we use the this keyword. And if we run this program now, if I run this program now, it still gives me Charles. Okay, it still gives me Charles. So before I move to encapsulation, I want to show you guys about okay, let me print my age first, then SOUT tab, then I'll print P1. This P1 is person one, in case you don't know what's P1 person one. So age, P1 dot age. So if I print this out, so it prints my name and also prints my age. You see, it's cool, right? So that is a very good benefit of constructors without like accessing every variable. Like you say p1 dot name equals this one this, then before printing it out or something. Then that is a very good use of constructors like this. Okay, so before I move on to the use of, and that is the use of this keyword as well. So before I move on to encapsulation, I will like to talk about overloading constructors. So you can see you can make, when creating a program. So how I start creating my program is I do public person this, like this. So this an empty, sorry, you need this. Yeah. So this is an empty constructor. it means that it doesn't take any it doesn't have any parameters, and it doesn't expect any arguments. So I can still do something like this, but firstly let's just, so in our empty constructor, mostly what people do in the empty constructor is you just give a null value to it. Like let's say this dot name is equals since the user did not provide his or her name, we'll just say no name. In case the user doesn't provide this dot age is equals, the user didn't provide his age, so age should be 0 apparently, since the user didn't provide any age. So using this now, we can use this constructor and also this constructor, but the problem is you can't reuse this constructor like this. You can't add the same parameter, string name and int age as well. So you have to like remove one or two parameters, or let's say we can also do something like this: public person. So if I do this, it's giving an error. You cannot create another empty parameter. So all you need to do now is you need to find the one that you need, like string name. Okay, so now the user can give an empty value, or the user can enter only he or her name or something and just leave the age. Or you can also do many other things with the constructor. Over then you can just do this dot name. This dot name is equals name. Okay, the name the user entered. So the user can enter. Let me just close this. Let me close this. Okay, so the user can enter. Let me reduce this a little bit like this. So the user can enter the name, an empty constructor, like let's say you don't, he or she didn't declare anything, or can only enter the his or her name, or then can also enter the name and the age. You can use many other things with constructor. Okay, let me say I have let me say I have like a P2 person 2 person. I'll name him P2 is equals new person like this, and then I will not put anything. You see, it's not giving me an error, but if, because I can create an empty constructor because I did this. So but if I remove this away, it will give me an error. Hold on, it's giving me an error now because I need to put something there. But since I have an empty constructor like this, sorry, so since I have an empty constructor, I can create an empty constructor. So since I did not give P2 a value, let me just copy this and Control C. Then if I go down here, right here, Control V, then I'll just change this to P2.name and P2.name. So if I should run this program, hold on, it takes time. You see, since I didn't give the name for the P2, so we first print our P1.name, Charles 20 age, then the P2, the name would be no name and the age would be 0 because we set it as that in our empty constructor. So you can also give a value of only the name or any other thing and many other things. So that's all you need to know about overloaded constructors. You can create as many constructors that you need, that you want, but you have to make sure that it doesn't have the same set of parameters when creating overloaded constructors. Okay, and that is all the thing you need to know for constructors, but more are still coming. Let me explain encapsulation before we move on to our next tutorial. So encapsulation, what you need to understand about encapsulation, how am I going to put it to make you guys understand it more better? You just think of it like your data's bodyguard, your data's bodyguard or something. It's very protective. It's used for hiding internal data plus only allowing controlled access to your program. Think of it like it's safe. It's safe. You don't let just anyone touch the money inside, or you give them a key or a pin or something, like a safe. If you want someone to access it, you need to give the person a key so the person can access the safe, or a pin, so you'll be aware that someone is like accessing the pin. And that is the way you can understand encapsulation. It's like access is, you can also call it like access modifiers as well. So why we use encapsulation? Because in most of my programs, when I'm writing program, I use encapsulation a lot. So why we use it, or why I use it if I should indicate, is so I can protect my data, keeps my code clean and prevent wrong usage. Like you can just say, you can set a thing, let's say for age, For this age, I can just call my age -1, and nobody can be -1. Someone age can't be -1. So since my data is not protected, my age have changed to -1. You see it? Okay. So that is a very good use of encapsulation. It helps you to know how and things you need to get done when you are working with data. So how do we do it with Java? So what we are going to do, firstly, we're going to mark a variable as private, because initially this is like internal, or like I've forgotten how they call the default in Java. But just know that default is like public or something, is accessible to everybody. Then how we use the private access modifier, the encapsulation. Firstly, you make sure that these are private. So I'll just change this to private, and you see it's giving me two related problems: private, private, private. So if I go back to my main, I can't access any of this again. Okay, I can't access any of these private methods again because I've made the name and age private. Okay, so now let me build a key that I can use for anyone that wants to access my private data. So that is a very good way to understand how encapsulation works. Okay, so let's say firstly, I don't think that it will work very cool with persons. So I'll just change this Ctrl Z, and I'll create a new. You see the error is gone. So I'll just create a new class. New class is not very understandable person. I'll name it. I'll name it our bank. Sorry, no space. I'll name it our bank account class. Okay, so this one will be more understandable. So what's are the property of our bank account? Let me just give it one property so you guys can understand what I mean. But I'm going to make it private. You can see like our persons, we're just making it like normal string name, int age. So by default, it's either like public or something. Then for our bank accounts, I'm going to make it private. So we can't access the balance. So we name it private double balance. We'll not initiate, we'll just declare it. We'll declare it, we won't initialize anything to it. Then the next thing we're going to be doing is public. We'll call our public bank account. So this is our constructor, public bank account, and we'll put our double of balance right there. Then we will now do this dot balance is equals double is equals balance or something. Okay, so that's it. So that's it. So this is the private variable. So I just created a constructor, so I might forget to create it, so it will be very easy for us to access the bank accounts class. So to access a private variable in Java, we need what I call it a getter and a setter. Getters and setters, you have heard it in many programming languages, but I think Java has it as well. So good luck for you on that. So firstly, what we have to do is we'll say public. So now we're going to make it public, the getter and the setter. We'll make it double since we are collecting a double, since we are going to be returning a double. So firstly, we're going to create a getter and a setter. I have two ways. I'll show you guys the shortcut if you're using IntelliJ, and I'll show you guys the long way so you can understand it already. But now I'm going to show you the long way so you can understand it. So I'll say get balance. So you must put the get keyword. I don't know, but it's just a good practice. So get balance. So what we're going to do would be, so we'll put double. So no, we won't return anything. We'll just return the balance. So this getter it's used to like, so we can create for this, since we're returning just the balance. So this getters is used to help us to be able to get the values of the bank account, the values of the um properties, the attributes of the bank account. So it helps us to get it. Then if we want to set it, you can add a setters if you want to put some indication so the user can't do other things. But getter, you can work with get balance and stuff, and be able to help us access it in our main.java. Okay, so but if we want to set some limitations for the user, then is when we now use our setter. So we'll say public, uh public. So this one is we are not returning anything, so we have to make it void for the setter, because we are trying to set a good, like let's say you want to give someone something, you have to set like some boundaries, or use this but don't touch this one or something, don't change it or something. So now we have already given the user access to a key to access our balance that is private. Okay, so now we have to set some limitations to it. That you're going to understand get and setters as well. So you now say public void set balance. So to set balance, what we need, we since we are not returning anything, let's just add double, we'll call it new balance. You can call it anything though, and we'll just call it new balance. And yeah, so that's it. Then what we're going to be doing is uh yeah, so now since you cannot see like your balance is -1, because money can't be -1 or something. You can have $1, you can have two, you can have three, but you can have -1. So we have to set some limitations. Like now we'll say if, then we are going to use an if and else statement. If the new balance is greater or equals 0, then you can now set it. This balance is equals new balance. Okay, so if the new balance is greater than or equals to 0, that means it can be from 0, 1, 2 to any amount, then you can set it. Else we'll just print SOUT tab, then we'll print balance cannot be negative. Okay, so if the new balance is greater or equals 0, so you can say this dot balance equals new balance, and else balance cannot be negative. Okay, so so that's how you understand is get, a getter and a setter as well. So get helps us to get the value, just like giving the person the key. Then set, you now set some limitations that you need. So now you can now go to your main strings, and we'll just access the, don't mind the person class, let us leave it right there. And down below we'll just access our bank accounts class. So I'll say bank accounts, and I will just name this accounts equals, so this is the data type, the class bank accounts, and this is the variable name account equals new bank accounts, and we semicolon right here. So since we are using a constructor, we have to put our balance. So let's say our balance is on 1000. So because we have the set function, we can now set the get function. We can the get function. Yeah, we can now get our, we can now add values to our balance. So then we print SOUT. Let's say we'll print the balance to, let's say balance is this. So we'll now put this plus. So we'll call our variable name account balance dot get. You must use this get balance. So now it's able to access the 1000 that you kept here. So it will now get the balance. So if I print this out, watch what will happen. So you can see balance is equals 1000.00. Don't mind this, no name and zeros for the person class. Then balance is equals 1000.00. Okay, so then if let's say then let's set, let me show you how we can set the value. Then we can say account dot set balance. So let's set balance. What do we want to add as the balance? Let's make it 1500. And now let's say let's do SOUT tab, then let's print updated balance, and we'll now call it updated balance is equals, we'll concatenate, sorry I need this, we'll concatenate it to accounts dot get balance. Okay, so now let's run it again so you see what I mean. Shift F10, and Okay, see now. So these are our first balance 1000, and updated balance now is 1500 because we set it to 1500. Okay, so now let's try setting it to minus 500. Minus 500. Since then, let me run it so you see what will happen. Hold on. Okay, balance cannot be negative. You see, balance cannot be negative, and the updated balance, it's still working with our normal 1000 balance, and our normal 1000 balance is 0 like this. So but we can also add something to the balance. So once, if else balance cannot be negative, then we now do, let's say this dot balance is equals 0. So if the person gives a negative value, after telling the person that the balance can't be negative, we'll set the balance to 0. Okay, let me run the program again. So this person is trying to set minus 500, and I've never seen balance minus 500. So you can see balance cannot be negative. Updated balance is 0.0. Okay, so that is all I have for you guys, and all I think you need to know in getters and setters. In encapsulations, access modifiers, this keyword, and I think we did constructors as well. Yeah. So I just wanted to give you guys a shortcut you can use to get your getters and setters. So I'll just delete this getters and setters. Then if you right click, I think it still works. Then you say generate. It's only for IntelliJ, I think. Oh wait, hold on. Is it generate? Yeah, generates getter and setter. Okay, so you say okay, so you see it just generates for you a getter and setter without you doing anything. It just automatically generates for you a getter and setter. Okay, I'll do it again so you guys will remember. So I'll just delete this. Okay, if you just need like a normal getter and setter, you click on generate, then generate words. You can generate a constructor, you can generate anything. So let me say generate getter and setter, and you click on okay, and it gives you a getter and setter. So in case you don't like stress like I do, so you can do this as well. Okay, I'll just go back here. So it is what I have. So, if you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you can stay up to date on my latest videos, and leave a like and comment as well. You know, your feedback really helps me create better content for you all. Love you all.